Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain about the topic types of culture. It is the one of the important topic of microbiology. As you know, culture means the rearing, or the culture means the main purpose of culture is to grow the organism. In microbiology, especially culture is one of the very important aspect to grow the microbes. And depending on the various condition, culture is also dividing into various type, and each and every type having some peculiar character to grow the microorganism. This topic in which we will discuss about the important types of culture. So you know very well there are different kind of culture like batch culture, continuous culture, synchronous culture, axenic culture. These are the various kind of culture. The purpose, their importance is differ from culture to culture, and if you see the application part, I will discuss one by one. So first is the continuous culture, batch culture, feed batch culture, diagogic culture, synchronous culture, axenic culture. These are the important kinds of culture in microbiology. So first I will discuss about continuous culture. So continuous culture means if the culture is maintained for the prolonged time. So if you perform the culture of any bacterial system, so after the interval of time, due to the accumulation of metabolic waste and due to the exhaustion of nutrients and due to the lack of biological space, you have to add the fresh media at the certain time interval so that it can consistently the microbes can be grow, and such type of culture is called continuous culture. So this is actually a very important in the industry. Whenever you want to Here we want to synthesize the industrial product in a large, in a commercial manner, then it is required. So it is the when you establish the steady state, this steady state in continuous culture, it can be only maintained by the equal volumetric flow rate for the feed and the effluent streams. Means it's very clear, if your input of the the nutrients or the media is equal to the their exhaustion, their utility of the microorganisms, so such type of condition you can establish the equilibrium. So in so doing, the culture volume is kept constant and all nutrient concentration remains at constant steady state values. So there are the various condition for the proper culture, like light, like temperature, like pH of the media, like aeration, like the use of different aspect like asperger, their mixing of the media. These are the some important parameter by which you can grow your the bacteria properly. So next is the continuous culture. The main aim of continuous culture to keep the culture growing indefinitely, and this can be done by the fresh nutrient if you have to add at the certain time interval, and accumulated cells and waste product are removed at the same time, because if any cells are grow or any cells respire, or the breakdown product of the many metabolic products, it produce the metabolic waste. Like suppose if you talk about the human body respire, and it expired the carbon dioxide, and it synthesize the ammonia, it synthesize the urea like metabolic waste. So such metabolic waste is synthesized each and every living system. So bacteria, this is also one kind of living system. So it will synthesize, it will metabolize, and it will create the metabolic waste which is accumulated into the media. So you have to remove this metabolic waste time to time, so you can maintain your media or your culture keep constant. So conditions such as temperature, pH are kept optimum. So continuous culture is important basically in the industrial process, where it is the main aim to produce the primary metabolites. You know the type of metabolites. There are two kind of metabolites: primary metabolite as well as secondary metabolite. Primary metabolite basically are those metabolites which can participate into the metabolism. Any kind of metabolism in any place of the pathway, a biochemical pathway, the primary metabolite can enter. But if you talk about the secondary metabolite is basically not participating into the metabolism. Like one of the best example is the antibiotics. Antibiotics is the secondary metabolites. It's the waste product of the bacteria. It is a waste product for the bacteria, but it is useful for the human being. So that's why the primary metabolites, which are basically pyruvate, like acetylcoenzyme, these are the some important primary metabolites, which is produced in the greatest quantity when the organisms are growing at the fastest rate. So when the sufficient media is present, when the sufficient nutrients is present, when the optimum condition is present, at that particular situation, the bacteria basically produce the primary metabolites in suitable condition. So a culture vessels where we can go for the continuous culture is actually called chemostat. So this is the the arrangement of the how we can go for the continuous culture. So from the sterile nutrient, we can supply the sterile nutrient through the control valve. You can see in the flask the opening of the bacterial inoculation as a starter culture. We add the starter culture into the bacteria, and other side is siphon overflow and the air inlet. So these are the arrangement. You can see it's very clear how the continuous culture works. Now the second important culture is the batch culture. Batch means you can say it is for the fixed period of time. We cannot use it for the prolonged period. So batch culture is the one kind of culture in which we put the media in culture vessel once and we leave it for a certain time period, and during that period whatever the bacteria will grow, and after the certain interval, due to utilization of nutrient, it will be exhausted in the media, and it will also accumulate the metabolic waste into the same culture vessels, and the lack of biological space, when the bacteria will be grow, the number of bacteria will be increase. So their concentration are not controlled, but it allowed to vary as the living system take them up, and the product intra or extracellular are harvested only at the end of the run. So basic controlling of the pH, temperature, light, dissolved oxygen, then the aeration, these are the various conditions which is very important for the the smooth running of the batch culture. So eventually condition in the culture will become too unfavorable for the organism to survive, and the population will die out. So you already you have seen that during the bacterial growth, if you talk about the graph of batch culture, you can see the 4 different stages of the bacterial growth. The first one is the lag phase, then the log phase, it is also called the exponential phase, then it becomes a steady phase, and at the end of the bacterial growth curve, it is the stationary phase, or sorry, decline phase it is actually. So therefore batch culture, simply in a single line we can say, it is the one kind of culture in which we put up the media once and we keep it for the certain time period, and during this certain period the bacteria produce their product. So these are the arrangement of the batch culture. You can see how we can put the media and how we can add the sample or the starter culture, and stirrer, airflow, and all the for the mixing of the media. Each and every arrangement is given over here. So the fermenter zone here is the setup for the batch culture, which is ready to inoculate it with the culture of microorganisms which multiply, changing the condition in the media by using of the nutrients, and they produce their own waste product, as I told you earlier. So it is basically used for the production of secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites is also very important. All the antibiotics are the example of secondary metabolites, and these secondary metabolites for the industrial purpose, for the commercial purpose, it is very important to produce the various secondary metabolites. Now the third type is feed batch culture. Feed batch culture we can say It is the one kind of it is the mixture of actually batch culture as well as the feed batch culture, batch culture as well as the continuous culture. So it is the combination. So in which we can try to try to prolong the culture without changing in the condition within the culture vessels. That's why it is the combination. There are the some disadvantage of the batch culture. There are some disadvantage of continuous culture. So after the combination of both, it is called feed batch culture, where you try to culture the microbes or the bacteria for the prolonged time period without changing, without vast changing in their situation. This is called feed batch culture. The culture broth is harvested usually at the end of the operational period, either fully or partially. We generally, our culture broth, when the process is completed, so at the end of we can harvest our media either fully or partially. If you do the partially, you can add some fresh media for the proper culture. So culture volume increase during the course of operation until the volume is full. So therefore it is the dynamic operation, we can say. Now the next type is called diauxic culture. Diauxic culture means it is a very clear. Auxic means growth. Di means in the double. So the condition is called double growth. It is due to actually this type of growth happens when you add the two different carbon source into the culture media. Suppose you are adding the glucose as well as you are adding the lactose, or you are adding the glucose and sucrose. If you are adding the two carbon source or the two glucose source or the carbohydrate source, the bacteria shows the diauxic growth. So first bacteria you will use the one sugar, and after the exhaustion and after the completion of first sugar, now the bacteria will start the second growth, second phase of the growth on second carbohydrate source. So the separate growth phase is clearly you can see in the diauxic growth. So bacteria can adapt to grow in the addition of the second substrate. Second substrate, it may be any other carbohydrate, like apart from glucose it is lactose, sucrose, or the maltose. So it was first observed by Mr. Jacques Monod in the E. coli. So most common flavor sugar in the microorganisms is the glucose. We know very well. If the glucose is present, it inhibits the um, other form of metabolism. So the lag phase between sugar is catabolic repression and the inducer exclusion. In gene regulation, you clearly read about the catabolic repression, how the presence of glucose suppress the you know, suppress the the metabolism of the second sugar. So this is condition is called catabolic repression, where the cyclic AMP and the other catabolic activator protein are involved, where if the glucose is present, it will suppress the metabolism of the other sugar. And the inducer exclusion means, inducer means which support, which is positive regulator of the operons. If you inducer, if you exclude the inducer, if you exclude the inducer, then it will, inducer is excluded from a cell to keep it from functioning. If the inducer will be removed, inducer means which can promote the function, which can promote the gene regulation. But if you are remove the inducer, the function will be stopped. So lack of operon, this is the one kind of negative operon. In the E. coli, it is a very well known example. Sorry. So this is the growth of diauxic growth. The glucose, you can see in the red, when the glucose is exhausted, now the bacteria try to start utilization of the lactose for their proper growth. Now the synchronous growth. Synchronous means, syn means together, chronos means growth, means when the condition of all the bacterial growth will be same. Such a kind of culture is called synchronous growth. It is the microbial culture where all the bacterial culture are in the same growth stage. It is called synchronous culture. Syn means together, bacteria are growth together, means they are consistently grow in a particular stage. So since numerous factors influence like the cell cycle of the random normal non-synchronous culture have cells in all stages of the life cycle. So obtaining a culture with a unified cell cycle stage is very important for biological research and for study. So since cells are too small and certain research techniques or synchronous culture can be treated as a single cell, and we can say that one single cell can represent the whole population of the cell under this synchronous culture. So it has been extensively used to address the question regarding the cell cycle as well as the growth and the effect of the various factors on cell cycle. With external condition, it can be changed, it will arrest the the growth. If any change in the light or any change in the external physical condition like temperature or like pH or any growth inhibitor substances, if you are adding like nocodazole, like any antifungal drugs or in the antibacterial drugs or anything, any toxins is present which can stop the growth. So any changes in their external condition, it may hampers the growth of the bacteria. So cells in the different growth phase have different physical properties, and cells in the culture can thus be physically separated based on their density. So in this particular situation, in the particular stage, if you try to take out the bacteria, so you can check out their density and their size. So on the basis of their density size, you can separate the cell. And in the Helmstetter queuing technique, a bacterial culture is filtered throughout the membrane, and some bacteria remains on the membrane. And again, if you know, this bacterial membrane will come into contact with the some other culture media, again they will grow into the media. And the last one is the axenic culture. Axenic culture means in a single line we can say the axenic culture are those culture which is not contaminated, which are germ free, which are pure culture. So it is free from any pathogenic kind of bacteria, free from any microbes, and contain no any contamination. Such type of pure culture is called axenic culture. Thank you so much. Hope you would have understand a brief idea about the various kind of culture. Thank you so much.